been designing CBD and cannabinoid products, and our products are always designed with a purpose. They're designed with this idea in mind that they need to work, and they're designed with this logical direction behind them. A little bit like what the lady was talking about before, about how you design a product for sleep and it should have an essential oil which is actually designed to encourage sleep, or you have something which is for pain and you design a product which is actually for pain. It's very, very, very easy to make a CBD product. It's very hard to make a CBD product that actually works properly. And there's this term that not all CBD products are made equal, and it's this underlying principle which I really do believe and I see out there, because the fact of the matter is, if you want something to have a specific direction, it's important to kind of encourage that direction. Anyway, on another note, we've just launched our cannabinoid sales training seminar, which is an education day which teaches you more about CBD, teaches you to understand infusion, compliance, mathematical accuracy, and it kind of teaches you what your patients actually need, what your consumers actually need. We live in a world where there are thousands of CBD products, but it's very important that you know what CBD product should be used for what patient, and more often than not, people are not getting client retention. That's why I said you're not getting client retention, because you're not selling the product which the patient actually needs. Now, the fact of the matter is, if someone comes to you to buy a CBD tongue drop for sleep, you should sell them a CBD tongue drop for sleep, which means it needs to be a high concentration CBD tongue drop, either with a lightenol back or something like that, which kind of enables a direction, a terminological direction, encouraging the product to actually do what it's supposed to do. And so many of us still don't do that. And if you want your product to have longevity on the marketplace, and you want your product to kind of have standing, it's important to understand this. So like I said, we've launched this cannabinoid training course. If you scan the QR codes on our stall, they will kind of give you all the information you need to know, and please come join us. It's important for us to educate you. Knowledge is so powerful in this industry, we want to share as much of it as possible. So, where are we? Back onto making products. So basically, Taylor Mammon still lives and breathes the same principles. It's like every product is designed with a purpose. So a few of the products we designed recently. We recently designed maybe 4 months ago, we designed a period cramp balm, which is specifically designed to target and remove any issues which females have during their specific time of the month. We recently created an antifungal cream, which is also directionally designed as an antifungal cream. It's not a body oil which has antifungal properties, it's an antifungal cream designed to be exactly what it is. And that's what we kind of do in-house. We design products with a purpose, meaning that when you get a client who buys your product for that reason, you have retention with them, which means you have longevity with your marketplace. And it's a big issue out there, because they're 500 milligram strawberry flavored tongue drops which over-dominate this marketplace. What the fuck are they for? Seriously, I don't know, like what does a strawberry flavored tincture do for anyone? Now, if you've got mild anxiety and you're a child, fine, but we don't design products for children, we design products for people, so you should have the people in mind when designing a product. Anyway, I could talk about this for hours. I'm not talking about this today. If you want to know more about designing products, mathematical accuracy, bioavailability, getting the best out of your product, building the best relationship, having the best brand, sign up for the course, or get my card, come and harass me, come and talk to me afterwards. Today, I want to talk about something a little bit different. I want to talk about synthetic cannabinoids. I want to talk about the crumbling American market. I want to talk about our world. I want to talk about the necessary need for a Sheild of Honesty approach. So it's a slightly different angle than I usually do. I've also got an infusion seminar tomorrow. It's an infusion extraction compliance seminar happening here tomorrow. Not really sure what time. I'm on the judges panel at like 5:30. Yeah, I'm a judge. Yeah, so I'm a judge. So basically, if you've entered products or anything this year, you're basically in my hands. Me and yeah, we're judging all of you. So if you have any questions about any products around here, if you have anything which is outside of what I'm about to talk about, please come chat to me. I love to talk. So at this moment of time, all right, we live in the UK. Now, one thing about the UK is that the CBD market has existed first here before a cannabis market. And if you look at Europe, we are the only area in the world where a CBD market has existed before an actual cannabis market. You look at Canada, they had this, subculture, medicinal cannabis market, CBD came on top of it. You look at America, you had this subculture cannabis market, CBD's come on top of it. You look at Amsterdam, you look at Spain, you look at Israel, you look at every leading, dominating cannabis culture in this world, they've all been built on top of actual, real cannabis economies. We haven't, okay? We are probably one of the only countries in the world to have a blossoming, booming CBD industry, which has almost lifted up the underground subculture of the cannabis industry beneath us. And what happens is it gives us a hell of a lot of responsibility. And it also puts us in a dynamic, different position to our transatlantic brothers and sisters. So what you have in America is you have big money and big brands who have all made a lot of movement, and they've had a lot of influence building a world which is the true cannabis world. We are building the true cannabis world here. You know, we have a greater responsibility in our hands than anyone else in any other market out there. Now, if you look at the UK world, you look at the UK and Europe, there are three markets. There are three cannabis markets which are occurring simultaneously. You have the underground subculture of the THC market. So you have all of those Instagram dealers and all of those illegal growers and cannabis extractors and everyone who makes the base foundational products, which are probably what convinced us all to come into this cannabis world. Okay, you have this idea that you have marijuana, you have medical marijuana, and then you have CBD, and that's like the process which most of us have come through to come into this world. You then have the CBD market, which is us right bang in the middle. Most of us have our grassroots affiliations, most of us have our grassroots links, and if we haven't, we've come into this industry off the back of a grassroots invention. CBD was discovered by people looking at the greater cannabis plant. It wasn't CBD then cannabis, it was cannabis and CBD. We've gone the other way. But the actual education, the actual foundation of this society is based on that principle. It's based on cannabis up, not CBD up. Okay, it's not cannabinoid out, it's plant in. And what happens is we're in this middle ground here. Now in America, you have the cannabis market. The actual THC cannabis market is middle ground. CBD on one side, pharmaceutical on the other side. We have CBD in the middle, THC market on one side, pharmaceutical on the other. We are the middle ground. We are the people who are bringing these two worlds together. We are the people who get contacted for high-yielding THC genetic seeds to go and be planting in South Africa. We are the ones who get contacted to run THC infusion for products for medicinal infused products in Amsterdam and Holland. We are the ones who get contacted to go and communicate with GW Pharmaceuticals. They're not going to the cannabis market. They're coming to us, the CBD market. It's a massive responsibility. You know, you look at the world, no one else has this. So now we've got to take this responsibility and do something properly with it. Because if we don't, you know, our society, our world, which we actually have, you know, we have this amazing ability to form something wonderful because we're forming from this area of legitimization. But it's a big responsibility. So let me discuss this link. So, like I said, I had Tourette syndrome. My first cannabinoid product was not CBD. All right, I find that CBD helps me more than other cannabinoid products. But my entrance into this world, the angel that came and sat on my shoulder that said cannabis was the way for me, didn't give me a CBD drop, didn't give me a CBD tincture, didn't give me a CBD edible. They gave me a full plant extract. I am a believer because of full plant extract. Most of you people here, whether you like to believe it or not, are here because of a full plant extract. You're not here because of a synthesized cannabinoid. You're not here because of, like, maybe some of you are here to make money, that's fine, but I mean, like, most of you are in this building because you heard about a plant extracted cannabinoid which has done something. Your grandma had arthritis, she used CBD, now she's better, fuck it, I want to get involved in the business. My mother has, you know, bipolar, CBD helped her, fuck it, I want to get involved in the business. There was something along those lines. You heard about CBD as a natural extract, a natural cannabinoid working. Am I swearing too much? I'm so sorry. Okay. I saw Jappy looking at Bobby, and I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna take a moment. Screw it, okay? We're gonna use that. Is that okay? Fine. And basically, what happens is you have this underlying affiliation which has brought us into this world, and it's a natural affiliation. And then the pharmaceutical companies are coming in and things are changing. But we're on this middle ground now, okay? So we have this grassroots link to the world behind us. We know where we've come from. We understand the botanists and geneticists and the product manufacturers and the researchers and developers have all come before us. We know that, we respect that. We lean on this natural organic foundation, this organic, clean, pure foundation that was built behind us and that we've kind of stepped onto, okay? The pharmaceutical companies and us are also incredibly linked. Why? Because we have this open ability to sell and promote cannabinoids. I get to stand on a stage and talk to you about how I first found my journey with cannabis. No one's fucking arresting me. We have this incredible ability to sit here and talk about this world of cannabinoids and no one's stopping us, which means we have this ability to make change. We have this ability to direct the marketplace. We have this ability to educate the marketplace. We have this ability to bring the best from both worlds in order to create this world which will be good for us. Now, I don't think the pharmaceutical companies are doing this. And I don't think the pharmaceutical companies understand this grassroots element which exists. Now, in America, a lot of big pharma has invested in big pharma with an F, okay? You know, so you're big pharma with a PH, big pharma with an F. So a lot of big pharma have invested in big pharma because you have the cannabis market in the middle. In Europe, there seems to be this stupid understanding that a synthetic cannabinoid product will make the market better. Why? Because we're CBD out. So the whole idea of this natural plant extracted cannabinoid is not in the foundation of what we all preach and what we all believe in. It's not this grassroots foundation which we know, right? We've built ourselves up on. The pharmaceutical companies don't have in the UK. They don't look across our society. They haven't been here for the last 10 years seeing our world built out of a natural organic compound. They see cannabis being big, they see cannabis being profitable, and they see this idea on how to control a marketplace. Now, if you have a synthetic cannabinoid, what are the benefits? Someone must know. Anyone? Anyone know the benefits? It's cheaper. That's a lie. Synthetic cannabinoids are a lot more expensive to make than natural organic cannabinoids. If you look at Marinol's one of the they're one of the most prestigious synthetic cannabinoids which was released onto the American market. Price and user relief and general. Give me a second. There are 3 words. Basically, user relief and price and user experience on synthetic cannabinoids on a mass study are nowhere near as good as the real thing. A synthetic cannabinoid is always designed to be something. So you cannot design a synthetic cannabinoid to be a cannabis plant which is then usable in everything. A pharmaceutical product is a standardized product. It's either a capsule, a drop, a spray. It's designed to be something, it's formatted to be something, it's pushed to be something. Having a single form of administration, a single form of delivery doesn't help the marketplace. As a patient carer, as someone who does a lot of patient care, a lot of caregiving, the one thing I've realized in this marketplace is you can have 2 people with the same ailment and the way to directly target their pain is different in both people. Now, the fact of the matter is we are all unique, we are all individual, and the cannabis plant is very unique and individual. It can be made to be exactly what we need it to be, whereas a synthetic cannabinoid will always be what it is. It will be a 2.5, 5, 10 milligram capsule. It will be a mouth spray, it will be an inhaler. It will never be a base extract which we can turn into anything we want it to be, which limits us. And as soon as we have our hands and feet shackled and we're limited like that, the entire market as we know it disappears. Now in America, a lot of... One second. So, in America, a lot of these big pharmaceutical companies actually put their money into farming, and they put their money into the actual real cannabis market as we all kind of knew it when we first entered this marketplace. They haven't tried to synthesize, they haven't tried to copy, they haven't tried to replicate, they haven't tried to change the nature of what we're doing. Now, our European industry is young, it needs to be nurtured, it needs to be cared for, and it needs to be like we as a CBD market, this middle ground, need to kind of do what the middle ground's done in other areas, almost promote this full plant extract, because synthetic cannabinoids don't work. Now if you think about the most harmful synthetic cannabinoid that's ever been created, and it's known as spice. So spice was created by a guy called John Huffman, okay, University of South Carolina, 1991. all right? University of South Carolina, 1991, Professor John Huffman, probably financed by some pharmaceutical company, designed spice, okay? Within, I think, 3 months of designing it, he realized how much damage it caused. The amount of catastrophic damage which has been caused by this synthetic cannabinoid over the last 20, 30 years is astronomical. I mean, this is a drug which is basically killing people in prisons. This is the drug which is destroying people's minds. And when a synthetic cannabinoid is not made properly, it's as dangerous as every other opioid, every other stimulant, and every other poorly thought out pharmaceutical product which has caused such life destruction along the way. We all know the stories of what happens when a pharmaceutical company takes on a natural product, reformulates it to be more effective. But this more effective doesn't take into account the limitations of the effectiveness. You know, we all know what happens with oxycodone. You know, oxycodone is a synthetic heroin. We know what happens with Novocaine. We know what happens with all of these other synthetic compounds. Why is it going to be so different with a cannabinoid? Like, why will a synthetic cannabinoid be safe? Also, why would they want to replicate something which is already there? Like, why would you want to synthesize a CBD when there is an abundance of CBD in the marketplace? It's functional, it works, it's clean. We spend so much time working with these farms so they're compliant. We spend so much time building this industry to be the best industry it is. Why do we want to let someone come in and fake it? And I don't really, like, from my personal perspective in a caregiving way, I've got patients who have been prescribed synthetic cannabinoids. They live in England, they used to live in America, and they all say the same thing. It's not the same. It doesn't work the same way, don't have the same effect, and it ends up causing more damage than good, because what happens is you know, you create a dependency. You create a dependency on something which people don't need a dependency on. People need access to the real thing. People need to know full well that we as the middle ground, we as a manufacturer actually care about the patients in mind. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following what happens in America. America has literally gone to shit, okay? The market has crumbled. That's the best way of saying it. You've got, there's something in America, I don't know, like we've heard this from a few of the partners we work with. Have you ever heard the term pre-revenue profit? A pre-revenue profit is when your company's worth absolutely nothing, but someone gives you $100 million, so now your company's worth $100 million, but actually you're worth absolutely nothing. That is basically what's happened in America. I have recipes for 5,000 products. I've designed water-soluble tech, I've designed a CBD inhaler, I've designed you know, CBD patches which offer transdermal application, designed suppositories, I've designed drops, I've designed everything. Theoretically, if I was in America, I could create a deck and get $300–400 million worth of investment. It's not worth $300–400 million. The cannabis market has never actually invented anything new, barring the cannabis it works with. We take knowledge from around this world. We take like knowledge on nutraceuticals to increase bioavailability topically and edibly. We take knowledge on marketing, on how to sell our products. We use legal advice for compliance. None of this stuff is new. We use already existing knowledge to build an industry in a new arena. Now, what we have to do is realize that we're not worth hundreds of millions of pounds. What we're worth is we're worth the smiles on people's faces when they find a good product which actually works. That's what we're worth. We're worth joy, and we're worth solace, and we're worth sanity, and we're worth so many actual emotional attributes, but we're not worth $100 million. Why? Because anything you do, I can do, and anything I do, you can do, and you're not worth $100 million. You can take someone's compound, mix it with an oil, put it in a bottle, and sell it with a picture on the front. It doesn't make you worth $100 million. Now in the UK, we know that. In America, this entire cannabis boom has created this marketplace which is unsustainable. We can't fucking do that, guys. We can't take advantage of the stupid and the uneducated around us. What happens is the patient ends up losing. You get a $100 million evaluation and you don't show margins, guess what you have to start doing? Showing margins. Who's the first person to suffer? Your end user. Why? Because you've got to show fucking margins. Sorry for swearing. And the fact of the matter is if you don't do that, you're in a really bad position. Now Taylor Mammon, God bless Taylor Mammon, TM, okay, we've never taken investment. And our ethos is to create products that actually work. We never wanted to be held liable and held accountable to someone turning around to us and saying, where are the margins?
Where's the money? Because we make money, but we love our lives, but we do it for a purpose. You know, I met someone before who said that, you know, my drops help them go to sleep at night. It's worth more than anything. You meet someone who has debilitating arthritis, you make them feel better. It's worth more than anything. And guess what? My followers are happy to put money in my pocket. I'm rich, I love it, but I do it. I'm rich in happiness, I'm rich in joy, I'm rich for a good reason. I'm not rich because I'm taking advantage of selling a product labeled CBD which has no CBD inside of it. We all need to do the same thing. Now, the fact of the matter is it's a standard now to get your products tested. Absolute standard. I love that. A year ago when I stood up on the stage, it wasn't a standard to get your products tested. COAs were like, yeah, you buy a product and the COA from the manufacturer, you trust your infuser to make the product like it is. I like the fact that people like Hannah have to do 1,000 tests a week in order to make sure that we are kind of stepping up the bar and doing what we should do properly. And I like the fact that we get double checked. You know, Hannah's company called me up the other day and they're like, you have THCV in your product. And I was like, fuck you, I don't. In fact, the matter is I didn't, but it was a massive argument. And literally we were about to call up our supplier and